And they're off. So first stage we have here is planes. Main thing they want to worry about in planes is just collecting as much gold as possible, getting the leap of faith, and then the bubble wrap, which I do believe both runners will attempt to do. Bubble wrap is a skip that saves you about 4 seconds in the dragon room where it blows bubbles at you. You use it to go above the screen and do kind of like a zip or a screen wrap to a few screens ahead into the level.
Yep, and then it's the second dragon room that we're talking about, not this one.
Yeah, not this one, but the next one. But along the way, they just want to basically pogo and slash their way through all the objects while collecting gold along the way as much as possible.
So I notice every time that they either climb up a ladder or they shovel from the ground, they're going to be immediately jumping as soon as they can. That's because just walking and running up to speed, it takes a shovel knight a little bit of acceleration time, but when you jump, you're at full speed already.
Yeah. We also just saw that through those dirt blocks that they just shovel canceled through. You'll see that in a few different areas like that, and with boss fights, hitting dirt piles along the way to scoop up gold without losing time. It's just little instances like that you'll see it. So coming up here is the bubble wrap. Let's see, Munch is setting up for it. Engage is setting up for it.
Setup's pretty good. Munch gets it. Both got it.
Both with a clean bubble wrap. Very nice. And coming up is the Black Knight fight, which we're also going to see more shovel canceling to stun lock Black Knight to the right side of the screen. So after planes, they have to take just a quick mandatory visit to the village and then immediately leave. And then they are off to Pridemore Keep, which is the stage for King Knight. In the first area here of King Knight stage, we're going to see something called Gentle Jump.
Hop.
Gentle Hop. Where they're going to shovel through this screen transition. Muncha got it, and Engage got it. Very nice. So through that screen transition there, when they use the shovel attack and they time their jump, they actually gain a little bit of height through the next screen and can make that ledge at the top. It's the only screen that it really is helpful or saves any time in at the moment through any percent.
Yep, and then we'll see if Engage grabs Flare-on, or if he goes with Projectile List. If he grabs a Flare-on, he'll do another Gentle Hop going into, not this boss battle, but the next one.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see if Engage does go Projectiles. He did do runs earlier, he said, and he is.
He is going for it.
So both runners going no projectiles, no Chaos Orb or Flare Wand.
Well,
this is going to be a very interesting race.
We'll double check with Munch in a little bit, see what if he breaks any, if he makes that detour.
Yeah.
For Chaos Orbs. I'm not sure if he's done much of the Flare-on route himself. Munch is doing the Diesel Strat.
Very nice.
With that checkpoint skip, I'm assuming Munch is going for Projectile List as well. And I do believe Muncher was doing projectile lists before Smoggy came in with world record with the Chaos Orbs.
That is correct. Yeah, he started with it, and Smoggy pretty much dedicated his time to running it as well, and got the legendary 42 with it. An unreal time in any percent category. Alright, so both of it are pretty good King Knight fight. Yep. And with King Knight, one of the key components to this fight is using the ceiling to pogo him when he jumps up. So it allows you to attack him with more hits and faster. Quick kill. So normally they would be going to the village right now. They're actually going to head straight to the Lich Yard. And that's where we're also going to see a huge chunk of time save, is by not having to visit the village. The Engage was stuck there for a minute. You save roughly about, I think it's about 30 to 40 seconds just from not going to the village to buy the Chaos Orb. So as long as you execute everything from here on out to the end of the run, you can use that time save very well.
Yeah, throughout the rest of the run, not having either orbs or flare on probably loses about 20 seconds. So they have that net gain of 20-ish. I'm not sure if there's been ever any hard numbers. It's really hard to get some hard calculations going without proper tools to do so.
Right. So what we see here also in the Lich Yard are these frogs. Frogs have a very interesting set of patterns that they can jump in. They can jump before you, on top of you, behind you, but the key is making that split decision as to whether or not you need to avoid them or not. And they don't make their jump until you get very close to them. So in a speedrun sense, they are very frustrating.
Oh yeah. Another big advantage of doing projectile is since they're not spending many money on orbs or flare on, they don't have to break as many checkpoints. So they're able to utilize the safety of a lot of them.
They usually break that checkpoint there. Not that one in the dark room, but the one before that, because it has the most gold in the level. But now they can skip that checkpoint because they no longer need the extra gold.
Oh, that was a nice save.
Oh. Very nice save from Muncha in one of the scariest jumps in the game there.
Yeah, so pretty synced again.
Yep.
Muncha opts for no health. Engage goes for it.
That is interesting.
He
may need a bit.
Yeah, because he's gonna take this half a heart of damage guarantee, and then depending on what kind of RNG he gets from the Spectre.
Oh, Muncha. He messed up the pattern, but actually ended up drawing him to the right anyways.
Got good RNG on that, and they're still pretty close.
Yeah. So usually he either goes to the right or the left side on that, and typically we manipulate him to go to the bottom left side, or at least try to. In this sense, he kind of messed up on hitting Spectre Knight there, because he kind of bounced him to the right, but then he just went and kind of anticipated Spectre Knight going to the bottom right.
I mean, then even if he went to the opposite corner, he'd still be dropping down to the bottom right anyway, since he won't be able to get to the opposite corner in time to even land a hit.
Very true. Yeah. I mean, the key to that fight is just memorizing the patterns and luck. Yeah. All right, so they get through the dream sequence, also not really having to collect gold. Usually in the dream sequence there, we'll see runners kill the skeletons while also taking damage at the same
Alright.
time.
Will any of these runners make Taiwan proud?
Let's see. I don't know if any of them are going for it.
I don't think I've seen anybody even bother with it other than Taiwan,
Yeah.
who was a large advocate for it. He claims it's pretty easy.
So what the runners are doing here is setting up for beetle skip. There's an alternate to it, but we won't get into that. But basically, we manipulate this birder here to cross the lava gap, and then we pogo it along the way, allowing us to skip riding the beetle across, and both runners get it perfectly.
Pretty big time save too.
In Lost City, we'll see the runners come up here in a second and buy the Dust Knuckle, which is the next relic in the game that they'll need to purchase. This relic allows you to... actually, in this route, I'm just realizing it's the first relic that you buy. It allows you to pass through certain objects and enemies by attacking them. We'll see it in many instances as well.
When they're smuggling through a large
So that
chunk
first
of...
checkpoint's a free one. We're going to see both runners break that one. Because it does not waste any time to gather the gold from it.
I don't think Munch broke it. Don't think he needs it though.
Muncha is opting to not break this one, as well as engage. Let's see if he goes for Beetle 2. Goes for Beetle 2 and gets it. And so does engage. Very nice.
There we go.
So that is the Beetle 2 skip, and it's pretty much similar in ways that we're manipulating the birder to fly across the gap so that we can use the Dust Knuckles to cross that gap, thus not having to wait for the beetle to come across so we can cross the gap. It's a very risky strat, but if you're consistent with it, it's really just getting the setup and then making sure you knuckle at the right time and the right spot.
There are people that run Plague Knight. Munchie used to touch Plague Knight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there used to be a few runners that did, but not as much anymore. So Munch is going to... I saw him do this earlier as well, in his route. Muncha goes to... and I don't know, I thought Engage did as well with a Flare Wand route, but maybe this is different now. Muncha went to Treasure Knight stage, and then goes to the Armory, the Outpost, to get the Charge Slash and Conjurer's Coat, and then goes to Explodatorium. Engage is going to Explodatorium first, and then we'll be going to the Outpost after that.
I think it's really more a trade-off, more decision on whether you'd risk doing Treasure Knight with Conjurer's Coat and no projectiles, or if you'd rather risk Explodatorium.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if there's really much of a time difference between the two.
And that's what Muncha was saying earlier, was it's not a huge time difference without a projectile.
Yeah, in Explorer time you can save a little bit of time since you'll have Charge Slash on Plague, but you'll be taking some extra hits, and there's a few intended damage that you're taking, so you're gonna have to refill in forward Plague anyway. And then Treasure Knight, he's just scary with no projectiles.
Yeah, and getting good RNG with Treasure Knight is really helpful in the projectileless route as well. You kind of need it.
Yeah.
So Muncha making his way through 420 fish there.
Yep. And then 420 fish is the only real benefit of having Conjurer's Coat for that stage.
Exactly.
It just basically guarantees one cycle for them, but it's also a huge risk since you'll die in 2 or 3 hits on Treasure, depending on if you take a refill right before going to fight them.
Okay, so Engage gets Ice Climber strat where he manipulates the Clone Knight to jump with him, and then he pogos the Clone Knight at the top of the screen and transitions into the next one and is then able to skip the entire area there. Muncha with a clean anchor skip. Very nice.
Very clean. Alright.
Engage with a pretty solid start so far.
Plague's not playing too nice with some of his patterns.
Yeah, he's giving him a bad pattern, but without a projectile, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Muncha with a really good fight. Using shovel canceling against Treasure Knight is pretty much your best option. Really your only other option when it comes to fighting Treasure Knight. And normally what you would do is with the orbs, you would use the orbs so they bounce with them and do a lot of damage. And then you can also do some pretty good damage with the Flare Wand as well. But since both are running projectiles, that fight's definitely more interesting to watch.
Oh yeah.
So, both pretty much in sync into the village here. So now we're going to see Engage head down to Treasure Knight stage, and then we're going to see Muncha head to Explodatorium. So now that we can take note here, in the first area here through Explodatorium, the ideal situation you would like to go for here is a good pot lid pattern coming up here in the next screen. Oh, Muncha takes a hit there. That might mess up the cycle there.
Just a bit.
Yep, he's going to be a cycle behind. And in this next screen, if you get to it as quickly as possible, you get the best cycle in which lids are being lifted up. So it requires you to get to the first screen of Dust Knuckling perfectly, and etc. Engage got a really good tentacle room. He is now on his way to 420 fish, as well as much as on his way to the Alchemist fight. Which I believe takes 23 or 24 hits.
Something like that.
And Engage with a solid 420 fight. Using the benefits of Conjurer's Coat and a Charge Slash to make that fight a lot faster. That's one benefit that he had over Muncha doing the stage with those two items.
Even just having Charge Slash by itself makes that basically a guaranteed one cycle.
Yeah, it does. Engage barely missed the dirt pile skip there.
Muncha barely miss Ice Climber as well.
Oh, misses the
no.
pogo up.
Come on, there we go. He's definitely going to want that health, because one hit from play would kill him now.
Yeah.
So Conjurer's Code, it gives you 50 extra magic at the expense of you're taking an extra half-heart of damage per hit you take.
Engage going in with 3 health against Treasure Knight is pretty scary with a Conjurer's Coat, so we'll see.
There we
Muncha
go.
with a really
nice
good-
clean. Nice fight.
Yeah, really good plague fight from Muncha.
Alright, come on, man.
Oh.
There we go.
Very, very nice fight from Engage, but also
Yeah.
very close to death.
Yeah. A big reason why Muncha decided to do Treasure first was Treasure Knight hits a lot harder than Plague Knight does.
Yeah, and if you get hit by the anchor shot that he does, it does even more damage. So just going into that fight is very scary. I believe this is the match right before the semis, or this actually is the semifinals.
This is right. Yeah, semifinals, and then winner of this match goes against Smoggy, and then we just have to wait for losers bracket to catch up.
Yeah. So yeah, we're coming pretty close to the end of the tourney. A couple more matches, and we'll be near the end. Both Month and Engage off to Propeller Knight. Muncha with about a 10 to 15 second lead here. But that could easily change at any moment.
Oh yeah. Even the fastest death, even if it was this intentional death, would give Engage the lead.
Engage getting a nice beetle skip there. You can shovel the beetle and then immediately pogo it up to the next area. Skipping having to go to the left. Muncha having to deal with the first Jawa. Ah, okay.
So it goes as a turtle jerks at times. And then having projectile makes that room a lot more consistent.
Yeah. Oh, Muncha almost had the newly revised dinghy dropper fight without projectiles. It's very similar in a way where you just time your hits. Oh, Engage almost had his, and then you want to pogo the ship on its last hit, and then make your way to the right to the screen transition, and you'll go up to the top ledge there. Muncha just bought the propeller dagger for 4,000 gold. You want to go into this room with at least 3,750 gold. If you have at least 3,550, there's 200 gold behind the chest.
There we go.
Very nice.
Oh, what happened to Engage?
Muncha had to get through Jawa room there.
Alright, so Engage, he can't get hit at all in Jawa room.
Yeah. And the first one's gonna stop him.
Come on, there we go.
Very nice. And then he improvises past the second two there.
Yeah, and it's real scary when you're flying off screen as well, off the top of the screen, because you have no idea what that Jawa's going to be at that point.
Yeah, you
just basically hope for the best right there.
Exactly. You can't get hit when that Jawa goes to the top of the screen because you can't see anything. So Alright, Muncha going through the wind tunnel rune. And gets
Very
a 1
nice.
cycle. Very good. One cycles the next one. Oh. Engage will have to settle for a 2 cycle.
Alright. Muncha allowing Propeller Knight. Very nice kill.
Perfect kill from Muncha, using shovel cancel and manipulating him to fly to the left. You could pogo him up to the top of the screen and then finish him off with a couple propeller dagger hits, and he's done. I believe we'll try to see the same from Engage here.
Very nice.
Both with a perfect kill. Very nice. So next we have Clockwork Tower, stage 4 Tinker Knight, where the runners will be buying the final relic in the any percent route, which is the mobile gear. You need just 3,500, or I'm sorry,
3,000.
3,000. I always forget the amount of that, but yeah, it's only 3,000.
So basically, for any percent, as soon as you buy a propeller dagger, we don't worry about gold anymore. Since you get 3,500 from propeller, which is more than enough to buy the gear here.
Yeah, the gold that you get alone just from the Propeller Knight fight alone is enough to purchase it. And we're going to see it in a few runes here, where it's going to save us a lot of time just in a platforming sense. And we're also going to see it used in a couple boss fights as well.
Oh yeah. And then one of those boss fights in particular basically offset the cost of buying it by itself.
Definitely.
So I'm pretty sure that even if it was the only each, it would still be grabbed.
So with the gear here, it allows Muncha to cross the spikes, saving us a lot of time waiting for that very slow moving platform. And Muncha entering the auto-scroller here. And in the first section, we see the sign daggers. These sign daggers are very similar to like Medusa heads from Castlevania. They spawn from the left and right side of the screen in a sine wave motion. And they're very random as to how many can spawn and in which area they will spawn for as well. So sometimes they can be a nuisance. Climbing that ladder, if you're not careful, they can make you fall down. Oh wow! Engage daggering him, and needs to get up there. Okay, very good.
Okay, he's fine.
So yeah, we could see like exactly how annoying they can be right there. If you're not careful with them, they can.
And there's Tinker Knight. He's gone.
Very good fight from Muncha. Oh, but wait, no. So the first phase of Tinker alone is worth purchasing the mobile gear for because it one-hit KOs him. And then
do that twice in this run.
Yep. We're gonna do it here and then in boss rush.
Yeah. And then in low percent, it's quite a tedious match, that first phase.
Yeah. Muncha with a solid Tinker Knight kill, using the Dust Knuckles to knuckle Tinker Knight left and right instead of waiting to pogo him. Saves a lot of time. This fight takes a lot of practice.
Huh.
Just noticing Engage going into this fight with half a heart. As long as he's careful, he's okay, but
finish it. Oh no, I'm scared. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Go for the reflect shot. There you go.
There we go.
Right. Oh, it's very scary.
Not sure if he meant that one dagger or not.
It's hard to say. I've never seen the dagger used there. You usually just switch to knuckle. He may have.
I think we're trying. I mean, cause, let's see. Yeah, probably just hit the wrong direction.
Yeah, but he did save it. It's very nice.
That's all that matters at that point.
Yeah, and it was smart of him to wait to reflect the rocket back at Tinker Knight, because not only is it faster, but it's safer.
No, yeah. As long as you know the timing on that one.
Yeah.
Because it's really risky trying to get back by where Tinker Knight himself actually is, because of the timing of those missiles at that point. So, welcome to... Excuse me.
To Polar Knight stage is one of the more, I would say...
Magic Intense.
Magic Intense and Relic usage stages in the game. Not only is magic management very important through each screen, it also can determine how you can optimize each room.
Oh yeah, and then it's also health management. Managing your health is extremely critical in this one as well.
Yeah, that too.
Since we take 2 intentional boosts to make it through.
Yeah, so with the Conjurer's Coat, 2 intentional damage boosts. That's 2 health points right there, right?
Leaves you at 1 health.
With the Polar Knight fight, using shovel cancel attacks very well.
It's a really nice fight.
It's in there, yep. That is the key proponent to that fight as well.
I've never seen that variation of this strat.
So engage, yeah, you can usually do that method at the beginning of the auto-scroller method, or the part there, but
not sure if he wasn't feeling good with his magic, or just wanted to take it a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit of both.
Ooh, just have to be a little bit careful here.
Cannot take another hit.
Oh.
Pretty good for... Pretty good, that was the first death of the race. And remember that we still have boss rush to deal with.
Yeah. Engage just needs to get through Polar Knight here and he's good to go. Oh, no. And takes another death.
He's on tilt right now.
So as part of his strat to this fight is he rides the gear into Polar Knight there. And that is because when you use the mobile gear against an enemy when it has been activated, he's got the fight there. Very nice. It actually does 2 hit points of damage instead of just 1. So activating the gear and it running against an enemy will do 2 hit points. Thus, at the start of that fight, does help a little bit in making damage. So yeah, in going through that fight for Engage, it was a little bit different because he just started running projectiles actually just a couple days ago. And that fight without a projectile is probably one of the harder fights to get adjusted to because
you have to get a lot more shuffle cancels in, and you have to basically be able to take advantage of the invulnerability you get from damaging a boss.
Exactly. But meanwhile, Muncha has made his way. He's about halfway through Tower 1. Tower 1's a pretty straightforward stage. It basically does help when you have had some time and practiced a lot of usage of all relics, you can really put a lot of advantage of it into every screen through Tower 1. If you get a couple big magic drops, it definitely helps as well in the last few screens of this stage, so that way you can Propeller Dagger through a lot more. But Engage only has a little bit of catching up to do. Again, this race is still very close. Still a boss rush to get through. A lot can happen.
Alright, Munch is starting the Black Knight 3 fight. See if he gets a stun lock. It's a little bit tighter than the one that we saw at the start of the game in the plains. And then losing it makes things a little bit more interesting. But a perfect fight.
Yeah, Muncha had a very good stun lock. And like JC said, it's a much harder fight than when we see in plains. It takes a lot more practice to nail that one down. So Muncha has entered Tower 2. Gonna see if Engage is gonna go for the new swaggiest of strats for Black Knight 3.
He selected it.
I saw him practice it earlier. I think he's gonna go for it. He has enough magic for it as well.
Munch fallen to the wrong side of the statue.
Very nice.
But recovered nice from that one. And then there we go. Nice fight from Engage.
Gets past the Jawas. Very nice from Muncha. Engage getting the gear swag on Black Knight 3s. Very nice.
Oh yeah. Didn't have quite the same effect on us like it did when Exploud did it on us. Out of nowhere.
Exploud actually debuted that strat during his race about a week or two ago, where you throw a gear at the start of the fight and then use it because it does 2 hit points of damage. It does save a little bit of time. Alright, Muncha has started Boss Rush, and Engage has started his way through the auto-scroller. Getting Tinker first is interesting. He'll have the magic for it as well. But magic management is also important through Boss Rush. Making sure that you have enough magic for each boss fight to finish the fight optimally. The order is random besides the first 3 bosses. Polar Knight is guaranteed to be within the first 3. So Muncha getting Tinker first and Inspector second, he is guaranteed to have Polar Knight next. Solid polar kill from Muncha.
Engage starting with Tinker as well.
Very interesting.
Very good King 9 fight.
Yeah, with the King Knight fight in Boss Rush, that's a little different since we have no ceiling to Pogo King Knight. So we just use shovel canceling and charge slash attacks.
There we go.
Alright, there we go. It's giving him some pretty bad patterns, but he took care of Plague. Both now fighting Mole Knight. Very interesting substitution for use of a projectile. Muncha using the gear to activate it right before Mole Knight dashes left and right.
Works pretty well.
Yeah, it does. It works really well, actually.
I mean, since you don't have orbs or fire wand to use anymore, you gotta use the magic somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have the extra magic through Boss Rush, and as long as you activate that gear, it does 2 hit points of damage. And Muncha just making work of Treasure Knight, and having him last is pretty risky as well. Very good Boss Rush from Muncha. Very, very good. Engage with Treasure, Propeller, and Plague last. Oh, boys. Oh, no.
He'll be fine.
It should be okay.
Oh.
Oh, very nice. He needed to avoid that anchor shot. Actually would have killed him, even with 3 hit HP left.
Plague Knight could be a little bit scary at this point. Oh.
Very nice. Alright, Muncha making his way to Enchantress 1 fight.
Very nice kill.
Solid fight from Muncha. Wow.
Alright, Engage got through Boss Rush with no hiccups.
That is, without a projectile, that has got to be the most optimal fight for Enchantress 1. Like,
oh yeah.
That was really, really quick. He got a good pattern. He inflicted the right amount of damage at the right time, so it was a good fight. Coming up on Enchantress 2. And that is time for Muncha. GG, my man. I believe that was a deathless.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
I believe it was as well.
Muncha had a very good run. He was only a couple seconds off of his PB. Let me check what he got earlier. For a second there, I thought he might have been on PB pace.
Good kill from Engage.
Alright, Chantress 2 coming up. Enchantress 2 fight, we basically just use shovel attacks while timing the pogos on Shield Knight. And then using the Dust Knuckles. And that is
GG.
time for Engage, a 46-10. Very good run from both runners. Really the first projectileless race that I think we've seen.
I think so.
I think like as far as even non-tournament races go, I don't think we've done any projectile races that I've seen. But yeah, this is for running without Chaos Orb or Flare Wand for both runners. Still kind of a new thing. Still getting really good times with it.
GG Muncha.
Hello. Yes, I did it. Yeah,
GG, dude. Very good run.
thank you. I had fun.
It was a very good race. Pretty much in sync for the most part. Very close to it all the way up until
Polar Knight.
right up until Polar Night.
Well, you can see my inexperience at running this projectileless route.
It's
Right
hard.
there on Polar Night.
Oh yeah.
I mean, still props for running it though. I mean, projectileless is super awkward.
Yeah. I got the swag gear on Black Knight though.
Yeah,
You
we
saw
did
that.
saw that. Yeah, I saw you practicing that earlier. That was Explode would be very proud.
If you were watching. But yeah.
But yeah,
I
it was
mean,
a very good race though.
I just gotta work on improving it, for next time.
Yeah.
Speaking of next time, I believe Tolu has something he'd like to say.
Oh no.
Tune in tomorrow for the steel cage match between me and Engage, which will totally be tomorrow, right, Engage? Tomorrow, 7 p.m.
Speed scheduling.
Speed scheduling. Is that like the earliest you'll be available?
I can go whenever, man.
I'm gonna do it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Just give me a few days to prepare, man. Come on.
I want to get this over with, but all right. If you want to go Wednesday, we'll go Wednesday.
He wanted you to race right now initially.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I wanted. But Wednesday is fine too, I suppose.
Yeah, trying to catch me off guard here, you sneaky little creep.
This was your moment match. This was your moment run against him. You'll get a deathless.
Hopefully.
At any rate, our next match in the tournament actually will be that match on Wednesday, and then Friday, March 3rd, at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have S Diesel versus Primorix.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
in losers bracket, and then Tolu versus Engage will also be losers bracket, but we're in the top 6, I think. Shoutouts to Engage's clock.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. My clock is loud and going off every hour. Alright, I guess I'm done here, so I'm gonna get off and do a couple things right now. So thanks for the race, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
All
GG to both racers. A very good run, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, good
Thanks,
race.
Weasel, for restreaming everything, of course.
Yep, thank you, Feasel. Thank you guys for watching. I believe we have more Mega Man coming up, so tune into that, and we will catch you guys later. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.